San Francisco is one of the most expensive real estate markets in the world. With an average home price at over $1.3 million, it's really hard to imagine ever making the move. However, this $8.5 million Victorian mansion in the heart of San Francisco, California, is as jaw-dropping as the price. Today, we're going to explore one of the hottest real estate markets and take a look inside a property that almost feels worth that hefty price tag. Hi, I'm Connor Ashley with Nosy Neighbor, and today we're going to go inside an $8.5 million Victorian mansion in San Francisco, California. So this property took me all of about 2 seconds to find because it is jaw-dropping. Like, as soon as you see it, it is so gorgeous, and I think it's because I love the juxtaposition when it comes to real estate. And when you look at this property, it's on the outside a Victorian, San Francisco house, and it's charming, but you can tell they've updated it. And then once you go inside, it's this industrial modern home. And it really takes you aback. It's right in the center of San Francisco. You can see it's right by that park from, what's it called? From Full House. It's right by that park in a great area, and the property is just beautiful. It has these Victorian, exterior that they've updated with this black framing on the windows, the all white, and this sort of distressed wood look. Now, the one thing I will say about San Francisco is the properties are so close together. Do you see how close this house is to the other one? I'm like, that's crazy. And for $8.5 million, you might expect a little bit more. And I'll say $8.5 million is a ridiculous amount of money for this property. It's at 3847 18th Street in San Francisco, California. It's 4 beds, 4 baths, and it's actually 2 units because on the lower level, there's sort of like a separate little unit, which would be nice if you have guests or anything like that. But again, it's like $8.5 million for a house that's literally on top of the house next door. But you're in the heart of San Francisco, and it is really modern and beautiful on the inside. So you walk in, you're immediately met by this sort of herringbone pattern, light oak wood floor, this fireplace that's like this metal sheeting that is just really industrial but very modern, and these distressed wood and black metal beams all across the ceiling. What I love is they're blending so many different styles here. You have the Victorian historic charm on the outside, and then on the inside you mix this industrial and modern sort of loft feel. You walk in, gorgeous fireplace, gorgeous bay windows with this, sort of historic framing on the windows. Looks very, original to the property, and it just brings in that Victorian sort of historic charm that San Francisco has in many of its properties. And I mean, look at that, like the framing along the door, that wood distressed, like light gray wood is modern, but they do it by keeping the original integrity of the property. And this staircase is like a metal sculpture with that wall, that wood art on the wall. I mean, it's just as like you're walking into the Museum of Modern Art. Like, it's stunning. One of my favorite things about this place is how they've blended like this Victorian, rustic, industrial, and modern sort of feel and style, and just done it really effortlessly and really nicely. And I think as far as like furniture and decor goes, I think you can have a lot of fun. You can really accent any one of those styles that you want and really bring that forth, or do a little bit of everything, and so you can really play around with like these rustic or industrial or super modern interior styles. And I'm gonna link down below some of my favorite pieces that I think would look amazing in this property. And they'll also be on my blog at nosyneighborrealestate.com if you wanna check those out. But again, like, it's just this effortless blend of this old historic charm with this modern industrial feel. And you can see, you have the living room right there, the sight lines all the way through the dining area into this long kitchen that is just completely flat, white, and modern. And you have the industrial Edison bulbs here, and they bring that wide plank light herringbone pattern floor throughout. Although it's not a property that has a lot of actual, land that goes with it, on the interior, what they do nicely is they frame the outdoor space with these large bamboo, and it's perfectly pictured and framed by these floor-to-ceiling windows. And what happens is it sort of makes it feel like you're outside on every single level because of these huge walls that are essentially made of glass and let you see to the outdoors. In city environments like San Francisco, New York, where it's just houses on top of one another and you lack outdoor space, it's really important to bring that indoors, and they do that really well with these amazing windows. This great little family room here that has a super modern kitchen and super modern wall. You can see up through the stairs. I mean, it's like a piece of art. And these huge windows framed by the Victorian original historic accents really blend this industrial modern feel with old world charm of San Francisco, and it brings old San Francisco into a new sort of era. But I mean, these stairs are a masterpiece. It's like those stairs are a piece of art in your home, and all these wood framings on the windows are art. And that's why everything else, like these bathrooms, have such a modern and minimalist feel, along with like the kitchen that's all white and these very modern bathrooms. They really allow the industrial and Victorian accents of the property to take center stage. Again, and like here's your bedroom. You're in the middle of the city, in the heart of San Francisco, one property on top of another. You have a lack of outdoor space, but because of these huge, windows that take up the entire wall, they look onto the greenery, and it feels like, it's bringing the outdoors in. Here's your outdoor space. Now, this is a good amount of outdoor space for San Francisco, but as far as the price tag goes, for, an $8.5 million home, you're expecting a lot, and you're expecting a lot of different things, and one of those things would be an outdoor space. And although you have it here, it isn't the biggest, it's not the best, but again, it really is brought into the home with those gorgeous windows that just open up and surround you by, the outdoors. I love this master bedroom. It's at the top of the property, and so it has this A-frame ceiling that is just perfectly framed with these beams, these industrial and wood beams, and highlighted by this modern minimalist furniture that lets the architecture really speak for itself. You have these gorgeous views once you get up there of San Francisco, and again, just bringing the outdoors in. So they're having these huge windows that open up onto a balcony with these trees that really make it feel like no matter where you are in this home, you're near the outdoors. I mean, look at that sightline. Like, that framing is industrial but gorgeous. And you can even see in that window there, the original sort of Victorian wood paneling. I mean, it's just a blend of industrial, modern, Victorian perfectly. I mean, it's gorgeous. It's stunning. You have these gorgeous views of San Francisco. Hell, you got an elevator. If you got an elevator in your house, honey, you are there. You have made it. You are done. You are good. You have nothing else to prove. You got a goddamn elevator. And again, remember, I said this was a 2-unit building, so it's legally 2 different units. So here on the bottom floor, you have a whole nother apartment that's bigger than most people's houses. And it continues that modern feel, like the minimalist modern feel of the kitchen, accented by these Victorian pieces and the industrial beams. Like, this secondary unit is nicer than most people's houses. And that is what you'd expect in an $8.5 million house. But I mean, it's gorgeous, it's stunning, and you're right in the center of San Francisco. Beautiful. And even here, like, you have the Victorian old world charm mixed with this black metal framing, the black garage. It's just a great contrast, and it really makes the Victorian pieces of the property stand out. You have this huge garage for many of your luxury cars, I'm sure. This great outdoor space. Now, I think it's hard to imagine spending $8.5 million for a house that's literally on top of another house. But in San Francisco, that's the standard. And for this property, what you're paying for is you're paying for that uniqueness of blending the Victorian era with the modern industrial accents. And that's where your money's going. And you have 2 units, which is great if you have guests or teenage kids and they want their own space. I mean, they can have their own apartment, you know? I love San Francisco. I would move there in a heartbeat, but I would never be able to afford $8.5 million. It's just not gonna happen. But if you wanna check out this listing, go to the blog post that I'll link down below and check out the listing agent, Frank Nolan with Vanguard Properties. He really snatched up a great property. And although it is unfathomable to spend $8.5 million on this place, I do think it's well worth it once you get inside and explore the property. So that's it. Let me know what you guys think. Can you even fathom spending this much money on this property? What do you think of the style? It's super unique, and I can imagine that not everyone's gonna like it. So I wanna hear your thoughts. Comment down below, and while you're doing that, like the video and subscribe for new real estate videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And check us out on our Instagram for tons of real estate content at Nosy Neighbor Real Estate. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.